Hey everyone, it's Stephanie Garcia, and this is the Art of Becoming series, where we talk all about the journey between where you are right now and where you want to be, and all the stuff that has to happen in between to get you there. If you're ready, let's get started. All right. Welcome everybody to episode 10 of the Art of Becoming series. For some reason, when I was getting ready to record this, that number just tripped me up. I was and I guess I never really thought I would get to 10 episodes. And I think when I think about 10 episodes, I think about, wow, I think I'm going pro with this a little bit. Like Stephen Pressfield says. And It's just amazing when you commit to something which you can actually create, when you actually put the effort in, and when you schedule it and say, okay, I'm doing this, and you really go for it. It's amazing what you can create. But one of the biggest things for me is I don't think I ever really imagined that I would get to 10 episodes when I had this idea. I don't know what I was thinking, but I guess in my mind, I thought maybe I get to episode 4. So now I'm at episode 10, and my mind is thinking, oh, where could it go? What could I do with it? And I think that that's something that I find pretty interesting is when you have an idea, you can only see so far. And then when you get to making some traction on it, or you get to a certain place, your mind then starts thinking of bigger possibilities. Well, where can I go? What can I do? Right? So I thought that was really fun. And again, it's really exciting. And welcome again to episode 10 of the series. Thank you so much for listening. I think this idea, what I'm just talking about with these 10 episodes, kind of segues nicely into what I want to talk about today. And today I want to talk about that gap between where you are right now and who and what you want to become and do in the future. I want to talk about that space in between there. Most importantly, I want to talk about why your brain fixates on that gap and on the need to know how to get from where you are now to that. So oftentimes our brain will look at that gap and go, nope, too far. Nope, not possible. Can't make that happen. Or it'll look at that gap and it'll go, how in the world can I make that happen? You know, you'll be like, you'll be thinking about something that you want to do, some dream that you have, or just even opening up yourself to some kind of possibility, and your brain will go, how? How in the world can that happen? Absolutely not. No, maybe that person over there can do it, but not you, right? So today I really want to talk about that that little spot there where our brain gets caught up in the how and then just doesn't go any further. Because that's really the problem with it, right? It's not that we're asking ourselves how, it's that we ask ourselves how, our brain asks the question how, but then it doesn't actually go over that hump to try to figure out the how. It's like our brain goes, how? How is that even possible? And then it just stops right there. And it doesn't even try to go towards trying to figure out the answer to that question. It just asks the question and then just stops right there, right? So the reason that the brain needs to figure out the how before it even gets started is because the brain is logical, right? It needs to know what steps it's going to take to make this thing happen. But more than anything, it needs to know that when it does something, it's going to lead to that outcome. And the brain really wants that guarantee. It doesn't just want to know how to make something happen. It wants to know that when it does, if it's going to do something, that it's going to lead to the result. So you may be able to relate to this in some way because you might be able to remember some time where you've been wanting to do something and your brain goes straight to the how. There's no answer. It just shuts it down and stops. Or you think of an idea of how it can possibly happen, but you don't want to take any action or make any moves towards it until you know guaranteed that's going to be the action that's going to get you to where you want to go. Or you think about maybe buying another course or taking another class because you think somebody else outside of you has the answer to create this thing because you think that there's some kind of information you're missing and someone else knows it more than you. which is different than learning something that somebody else is really an expert in, that you want to learn from. It's different than when you're looking for an answer, the how essentially, because you think it's somewhere out there and you're missing that information. It's not a bad thing that your brain will be wanting to find the how. The brain's whole job is to solve problems, right? It's interested in problem solving. That's its whole job. The issue with this is that the brain is asking how, and then it's not going towards the next step of answering that how. It just asks the question and then it stops, right? It thinks that it needs to know the how before it can begin. But the how doesn't actually come from the beginning. The how comes from the journey, right? It comes from taking one step and then taking another step and then a step after that. When the brain just asks how and stops, no progress can happen, of course. The how comes from taking the steps towards pursuing what you're wanting to pursue in order to become the version of yourself that will create it. Who you are right now, in this moment, in this version of yourself, is not the version of yourself that is going to be creating the thing that you want to create. The how, the creation of that, is going to come from the evolution of you. You have to become the version of yourself that makes this happen. Where you are right now, with all of your viewpoints, with all your perspective, it's all based on your past. And that's what's driving your decisions. In order to create your future, in order to create this thing that you're wanting to create, you have to become the version of yourself that has new perspectives and new viewpoints based on what you do right now in order to create it. But the thing is that this is not a quick process, and that's another issue the brain has with it. The brain wants things to be quick. It wants things to be done like that. And it wants that because the brain wants efficiency. And it thinks that anything that takes too long is not efficient. It thinks that anything that's going to take too many steps is not efficient. But then again, the brain, that is also the brain assuming that it knows how long it's going to take to make this thing happen. It's also the brain assuming that it knows every step it's going to take, but it doesn't have any reference to how to make this happen. So it's just thinking of a bunch of things that are not necessarily serving you. So what do? How do you get past the space of wanting to know the how, wanting to have a guarantee, and your brain just stopping? How do you get past that? Well, one of the things that I've learned to do is instead of focus on the how, I've begun to focus on the who. I began to focus on who I need to be and what I need to do to become the version of myself that will create that thing. I started to focus on what do I need to think? What do I need to believe in order to become the version of myself that can make this thing happen? Because at the end of the day, that's the job. That's your work, right? The how is naturally going to come from when you turn your focus. It's naturally going to come when you turn your focus towards becoming that version of yourself. When you work, put all of your energy towards becoming that version of yourself, your brain just opens up, and the sky then becomes the limit. When I think about the how, and when I think about needing to know all the steps before I take them, before I even get started on something, just feel the tightness in my body, right? But if I start thinking about who do I need to become in order to bring this into the world, in order to make this thing happen, when I think about what I need to think and who I need to be in order to become this version of myself that will bring it into the world, it's just like an openness. I can feel it like in my chest. I can feel it in my shoulders. I can feel it in my arms a little bit. It just, there's a space. And I don't feel so constricted. And I also don't feel like I need to know all the answers. I just feel like I need to be focusing on me and who I need to be, right? And I felt that that's been a much better focus for me than trying to figure out the how. Just like, don't focus on the how. Focus on putting all of your energy into becoming that version of yourself and watch yourself start moving forward naturally. keep moving forward towards becoming that version of yourself. And if you need any help with that, you can go to my website and you set up a coaching call, and I can help you figure out where you're stuck at with it. So I hope that you found this helpful. I hope this moves you past that need to know how. And until next time, everybody, take care. Bye.
Thanks so much for listening. If you'd like, share this episode with a friend. That way we can get it into the ears of people who need it the most. You can also visit my website at theartofbecoming.me. While there, you can go ahead and download my guide, Own That Shit, 3 ways to own who you are, own what you do, and own it out into the world. Thank you again so much for listening, and I'll speak to you soon.